Hello, my crafty friends. Well, I was watching, sorry about the glare. I was watching Tanya's dyeing video where um, well, I'm trying to decide what I want to put on top. I mean on the bottom. I think I'm going to do this cardstock. She put papers and stencils. Of course, she did them on a table, and I don't have a table where I can do that, but I thought I would just try stacking them in here and seeing what happens. It's going to be a weird experiment, but at least you'll know it doesn't work if I do it and it doesn't work, right? The nice thing about this pan is that I can put two regular size sheets of paper side by side, and I like that. I need something to dry my hands on in between. I'm going to use some of these. I thought having the stencils in between them might actually help them dry faster too. I don't know. It may not make any difference at all. We're going to try it. And it is a little harder to get your coffee to go as far when you do it this way. I can already tell because the coffee won't come up, through the layers as well. So we might not get as many layers as I was planning on doing. But we'll do what we can, and then we'll see what happens. And I'm just going ahead and putting stuff down on both sides because I don't know if both sides will print or not. So this is cardstock. I was thinking about doing some regular papers too, but I think I may just do cardstock because it's that way they're all kind of equally the density and everything is pretty much the same all the way across. Now I don't know if it matters or not. Oops. Let me grab some more cardstock just a second. Nope, changed my mind. We're just going to go ahead and use this 24-pound copy paper. We'll see if there's a difference between the two. Of course, the difference might be that some of them are on the bottom and some of them are on the top. Move that over there because this is going to go part way. It's getting a little harder to get and this one might stick because it's got a lot of paint on that stencil, but we won't know until we try it. So I was working on another project, doing some marbled fabric like I did my marbled papers, and so I decided that I would use the rest of the coffee and do some more coffee dyed papers. So that's what inspired me to go ahead and try this. Is that gonna fit? Yep. And all of these have paint on them, so I may be messing up not only my papers but my stencils by doing this. We'll have to clean it off if it doesn't work. It'll just be something that costs me time, so we'll see. You see some of the stuff coming off of these. That's all right. I'll just make it more interesting. That's what happens when you use ink sprays on your stencils. And then you stick them in coffee. Okay. Almost out of stencils here, so let's just do this. Like that. Okay. And I'm just going to let these kind of soak in this for a little while, and then I'll just pour off the coffee and we'll let them dry and we'll see what happens. I let papers dry just in a stack on a cookie sheet all the time, so I'm not worried about the idea of just letting them dry stacked up like this. But the stencils with paint on them, that might be an issue. Let's go ahead and put down some more paper. We've got enough coffee to do some more, so just ran out of stencils that I had out. Anyway, I'm fully prepared if my papers stick to those stencils to soak the papers off and know not to do this again, but we won't know for sure till we try it. It's amazing how many pieces of paper you can get in a pot of coffee. Well, this isn't a whole pot, but anyway, it's leftovers from several pots, but I don't know if my table is uneven or if there's just, these are stencils are not as thick as those, but it seems to be more coffee on this side. Okay, I think we're going to let that be enough. And it's amazing how much coffee is going to get poured off of this. But I want to make sure that there's enough coffee to keep it, you know, to sit there and kind of soak stuff. I'll do this a little bit for a while, every once in a while, just to get more coffee on the top. And then I will pour it all off. And we will see what happens when it's dry. Be back in a minute. Okay, I'm going to show you what they came out looking like. But I did not end up leaving them. It took 2 days for them to dry, and some of them are still not completely dry. This one, in fact, is damp. And I didn't leave them in this the whole time. I decided that they couldn't get much airflow with the deep sides and everything of this. So what I did was I took a box and I dumped them out on the box. And then when these were dry, I would move them. And then after a few hours, I would fold this over and I would flip it so that some here could dry. And that way I could keep all my stencils in place and everything while I was drying them. So I'm just going to show you how they turned out real quick. You can see how they, some of them died more than others. I don't know if you can see the pink, but there's some pink off of that stencil. I did have one piece of paper where the paper dried on one of the stencils, and it did stick to the stencil, but that's one reason I started taking them off before they were completely dry. They were mostly dry, but not completely. And you can see where it's stuck a little bit right here. Not sure what stencil that one was under, but it was the other half of this one. I had a piece over here, and it was this light, it's 24-pound paper, I think. Anyway, it was the other half of this that stuck. That one has a lot of inks left on it. Oh, I didn't see what's on the other side of this one. Okay. Just a little bit of something. Some of them are embossed too. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a definite embossing that happened with some of them because I had them stacked. And there are my papers. So I would say that if you can't lay them out like Tanya did on hers, you can try this, and it works somewhat. Now I just need to try it with a bunch of pieces of my tablecloth. I've been afraid to cut my tablecloth up, but I don't see any way I'm going to actually be able to use it if I leave it whole. So I probably will cut it up, and we'll try this with pieces of tablecloth next. God bless you. Bye-bye.